dismantled that mirror position. That's how he got his pick. This is actually quite winnable for Supernova.
Now, if they opened up main bridge, well, some kind of angle. Yeah, okay, there is a way through.
It's so close.
Now, don't have smokes. Typically, it helps that aid in towards site. 30 seconds, James, 3v3. But again, getting dirty in is going to be quite difficult.
Oh,
the European! There you go! Oh, shoot on to Sage. There's not much time. Wettables and 200 need a clutch up.
Too easier in position to prevent Dirty from marching forwards any further, but Dirty takes his head off!
Oda would have won that.
The unlosable site might just be lost by GG.
Nah, Wettables got no idea.
Is out of position, but Bappen finishes the rounds. And we have to read our words, Jake. Supernova have another match point. I said exactly how this round would play out. I said you're going to play their own game up above. Someone's going to lose. You've got now player advantage. You're going to be this is unlosable, this bomb side.
Well, that was before I saw them locking in things like Vigil and playing the Legion up above and playing up a Guma and thinking that you can just swing it for free. Not at this level, not against these guys. Really well worked round from Supernova. Certainly not as direct, hitting more of the backside. And yeah, I mean, just so much swinging at the end there from GG. Tendencies we saw a bit more of in the opening half where they were going for more dry swings. They certainly weren't holding positions as much. Wettables said, does he need to swing that? Absolutely not. But he just felt pressured.
Yeah, losing Fisher guy on that mirror position, contesting the breach, it's
a shame we didn't get that, PB.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear what was going on. Fisher guy's mirror got destroyed by the Ash, so he held an angle instead of playing behind the mirror, and he simply lost. Probably a 50-50 fight. Maybe it was favoured towards him, but he lost it. I mean, he's not playing with an ACOG as well against a player with a magnified scope outside the breach. And then at the end of it, you know what it was that really brought it over the line for Supernova? It was Dirty. The guy that was 0 and 8 in the first 8 rounds.
2-11 at that point.
Yeah, and he's found 2 huge picks, and that has brought this game back into the realm of not just possibility, but probability.
2 chances.
Because Supernova are back on defense. They won 5 out of 6 of these.
Well, they had 3 opportunities to close this game out in the second half, James. Squandered all 3. They get 2 more chances now here into overtime. 1 on defense, then the next on attack. I'm not saying this particular round, round 14, is a must-win, but it is your best chance to win. Because, you know, if you lose this, GG, go back defense, and I don't know if they're going to lose basement again.
Oh, GG haven't lost it before. Supernova haven't lost it before on the defensive side. And GG, well, for the first time in this game,
I already like the lineup more of GG in terms of conquering this site, get Expo, piano control, use the RAM, open up the floorboards. They then bring the glass. I will then change my tune immediately and go like, what are they cooking? At least it's not with a sense.
Yeah, well, for a second there, we were looking at a really Vermin-centric lineup with a lot of roam clear potential. The Jackal, the Dokkaebi, Ram, and the Buck.
I like the Jackal.
And we still have that, but we've seceded the Jackal. We've still got Dokkaebi for roam clear, but the Glaz is the X factor.
I like the Jackal and the Glaz until Brendo probably goes and finds 4 kills with it.
Hey, he can make it work, and we'll eat our words again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quixie always small peeking. He's so keen for it. How does he see? How does he win that?
Oh no, too high.
He was on camera as well.
No way, the Dokkaebi's in the bin.
It's the one operator that you really can't afford to lose.
No, absolutely not.
Maybe the Thermite as well, but you don't want to be losing Dokkaebi, not when you're dealing with roamers, not when you're dealing with Vigil. Bucket time, he says.
Wow, that is a shot though from Quixie. Well done, my friend. So, such an opportunity now presents for Supernova. Up 5-4 in a match point round against the champions. Against this juggernaut of a roster. Question marks in the off-season regarding roster moves. And if anything, they lose this, more questions that we will need answers to, but we'll have to wait a week to get said answers at the very least.
I mean, that'll be the most disappointing thing about GG losing, the fact that we won't get the interview with them. This is so late. Half the round is done, the roam is not clear, the hatch is not open.
You know what I love though? Quixie actually, from second floor, spawn peak, now plays first floor, knowing that he's probably going to get hunted down second floor, play a bit closer towards site, around where a couple of other players, so Bap and Palarati can maybe trade off him. It's kind of that fallback mentality. Got my one, but now I'm giving up that second floor. We'll go play first floor. So a lot of time being wasted here because GG is still clearing up second floor. And they've still got, Fisher guys outside. Weatherpool's by himself, first floor. What happens? There's 3 players that could run into him. So now they say, 60 seconds. Let's go back through dungeon. Let's play side. This has been a really well-worked round from Supernova. Except for Quixie, but he's the Vigil. Will it work? Yes, it will. Weatherpool's not ready for it. And suddenly Supernova are on the verge of stealing a map against Gaming Gladiators to kickstart Plane A1.
And to kick off GG's debut with their new org, with their new player, with their new coach. Supernova have everything they have ever asked for right now. A 5v3 on a very defender-sided bomb site, on a defender-sided map.
Glaz as well, James. Not really the operator you probably want in this situation. Save, huge kill. Time for him to activate, but he's down to 9 HP. 20 seconds as well, there's not much time. Fisher guy's already been in a bad spot, but he gets the kill somehow. Fisher activates and he gets the plant down. Quixie takes the kill onto Sage though. Plant is successful, and this is where the Glass can certainly make a mark. Another kill. Fisher guy! He's done it again, as always. 2v1 now for Quixie, knows where they are. The flash, unsuccessful. No another race. Surely not another race for Supernova. Here for Quixie. Pros don't fake! Pros never fake! Brendo doubles back again because he's got a delay time! Brendo will not lie down and die! Oh, what a round! Oh my goodness! There's just too many twists in that tale for us to dissect in such a short amount of time. Supernova really should have won that round, but Fisher guy winds back the clock for just a span of 20 seconds to find 3 kills and get the plant out.
That was amazing from Fish. Like, don't bench him, by the way.
But he's all versus 3. Quixie gets himself a 4th kill in the round. He then knows full well that Brendo's outside of yellow, but there's not much he can do about it. He wants to stick it, but the footsteps get him off.
How close was he?
Because he wasn't that close, but because he was on it long enough, he felt like Brendo was going to actually swing that.
Ah,
and
jetzt
he
habe
had
ich die
too
Sicht
long left
geändert.
on it. I think he made the right call for getting off it because Brendo would have just swung, killed him, but
I mean, it takes immeasurable finesse for Brendo to keep his cool in that moment.
Oh, absolutely.
And yet he did. He nailed that last kill. And this has gone the distance. This is a 15-rounder. A GG looking to salvage what's left of their dignity.
Jeez, this would be huge. They would escape with all the points here if they can get this win. What?
2 out of 3 at least.
2 out of 3.
Which, to be fair, is all the Chiefs could muster as well.
It looked like for a long portion of this game they were going to walk away with 0.
That's the 4th match point they fought against. Now this is the 5th match point against them, but the first time GG are actually in the seat to win this race.
And I tell you, it's taken some individual efforts here. Weatherballs has had some good moments, but Brendo's been superb. Fisher guy in that moment essentially won them the round single-handedly. To get 3 kills, get the plant down. Like, if he loses that first engagement, he's just dead. That's kid on the floor with like 15 seconds left. Someone has to retrieve that. It's a position that's being watched. I mean, it just goes without saying, but GG now with all the momentum on defense, Consulate to close this out, I'd be really surprised if Supernova could bring this back and win this game, despite having now what is going to be a 5th opportunity in doing so.
I love to agree with you, Jake, but Supernova are constantly surprising me.
So that is true. I don't blame you.
I can never count them out.
Look, honestly, Oceania League this stage, I was incredibly hyped, and it has not failed to deliver.
I was thinking for a minute that we were going to overhype things. I mean, we're getting a little bit liberal with all our storylines.
Overhype? Never.
But let's be real. OS is delivering the most entertaining league and has
always.
just turned it up a notch in stage 2.
Let me check my phone. I'm sure Fresh is messaging. He loves it.
Fresh is addicted to this league.
I got to mention here 2 minutes ago, it says Oda would have won that. Loves that call. Well, right now though, we'll see. Juan gets another go. He has been somewhat quiet, but yeah, we've got to give him a break coming into a new roster. Big game as well. Big shoes to fill. This could be a huge
Jetzt geht er
round.
noch.
He didn't really
Davor
get
wollte er
the
nicht
chance to last
nachladen.
one. 90 seconds left. Slow approach. Vulcan canister gets
Sehr
blown up for
interessant.
Brendo. So now that's gone. That's going to give them a bit more of a push in.
Da wollte er nicht
But so
nachladen.
far, these are going back to some of the rounds where Supernova are attacking and things were quite slow, and in the end, GG just hold angles, Supernova push into them, and the round is done. So they've got to be able to just win some critical ones coming up here. That's a yellow ping, Ven's dead. Surely dead to rats here. Palarazi, the flames don't spread enough though.
No way, Sage?
So it hasn't forced him out of position.
Oh my god. He somehow stayed alive. Now, Bappen's the only one with a nave. That's the only thing that can guarantee that he will have to move. The drone's there, that it says, he is still there. Sage will not move.
No,
he knows it doesn't matter if he gets a kill. He's just burning time at this rate. It doesn't matter if the Grimm's bees look at him. You can have a ping on him 3 times at perfection.
Why are you turning?
That's Sage. He's on like he always has been.
Wrap it
his
up.
brother picks up the pieces. Pinker's gonna have to ace clutch again. But I don't think lightning will strike twice. The GG that you know and love is back.
Yeah, massive game. 18 from Brendo.
Incredible discipline from Sage. A little bit of hilarity with the drone being thrown his way, but he's too good. He's not going to get bothered by that. 18 seconds, no chance in a 1v5 for Pinku. He's been great. Supernova's been great. But they're only going to walk away with 1 point, James. The champions do not buckle under the pressure. They never will. And a huge statement has been made from 6-3 down, from 5-1 down. He never peaked it. He never peaked it. He never will, because he knows what this roster is capable of. He believes in the risky decisions, in the controversial moves that GG has made. Victorious. Your 3-time champions are here to stay.
Well, 2 points out of 3 is not bad from the position they were in at 1.51, another 0.63, another 0.76. All of those circumstances navigated successfully, overturning 5 match point deficit moments. I can't believe it. Yeah, I kind of can believe it, because it's GG. Yes, maybe some of their aura left behind to the Bliss days. Yes, they've made some controversial moves, but they are still the 3-time champions for a reason.
They are, and they're gunning for number 4, but thankfully, you know what it means? That they've won. We get an interview. Can't wait to hear what the boys have to say on the desk. And truly, I can't wait for the day that Xenox figures out the framing on that camera. A game that really went the distance, and there's no reason in this world that game can go the distance, Vinny. It has done. I mean, much more to speak to GG, especially when you go 5-1 down.
Yeah, I think to give all the credit to Supernova and say that first half was definitely 5-1, that's the way it should have been, is probably not correct. I think they were definitely getting themselves, GG, into positions they wanted to be in. They were in 4v2s, they ended up losing all of those rounds and ended up going down 5-1, which definitely set them off on the wrong foot. But yeah, once they got to that defensive half, it was a little bit easier to kind of show Supernova's lack of attacking skills.
Didn't expect that one on play day 1. Shit, though.
That was crazy.
So unfortunate for Supernova because they established themselves with such a good platform. We were sort of saying it, right? Like, they are probably going to find attack difficult, so they need to mount as many defensive rounds as they can. 5-1 doesn't get much better than that, which was good in the clutch. But their attack still just wasn't good enough, and those big fundamental errors. The amount of times on that top floor where we are sitting here screaming about why is the diffuser here, why is that player there, etc., etc., when they had so many good opportunities to close out rounds in like a pretty default fashion. To let it slide was really, really frustrating for us to watch, I'm sure for them as well. But to flip that into a positive, right? A couple of those big rounds where they fumbled, who stepped up? Fisho. Yeah. I mean, he clutched in the big moments, didn't have a big match up until those said moments, but when it matters, he steps up, and that was probably the sentiment for the team as well.
It's been said that the plough is invented after Fisho, that's for sure. A scary game, but look, individually, I think we can probably point to different players and we can see little moments of brilliance. You know, both teams had
Der kann ja gar nicht schießen, der Typ, Alter.
Obviously, since they're the ones with that roster move, how do you feel like that's panned out now that we've
Lass
seen
ihn Auto aussteigen, ist Dreieck, ne?
I think it's going to take some time to really understand sort of the impact that Suhan's going to have in comparison to Oda. I think as a one-for-one trade, in terms of gun skill, they're probably fairly similar. I think Suhan probably doesn't have as much experience as Oda, so might struggle a little bit more in these sort of pressure situations. Like he's been put in the worst possible position he could, joining a team like GG. But in saying that, like you said, everyone stood up when they needed to. Brendo obviously had an amazing game. He was fragging out, and then on the other side, I think it was Pink who got a 1v5 ace, which just came out of nowhere. And yeah, I think that sort of cements that. I don't think this was a complete fail for GG. I think they were definitely in positions they wanted to be in on those attacks, and Just weren't able to really have that finesse to close out some of those rounds, and it probably made it look a lot worse than what it actually was that first half.
No doubt about it, but it's time for the much awaited moment. We have an interview ready, and it's Sage for the first time in Stage 2. My friend, I'm just going to get this one out of the way. I'm not going to wait for a big question. We've obviously had our interview with Oda, and there's been plenty said online previously and as of now. So I'll give you a chance to address it. For the viewers playing at home that don't know, Oda has been put into a sub-position on what is now the game of Gladiators. He has since left. Now, we won't talk about Oda leaving or anything like that. I actually want to get from you your perspective on what the change was for Tuhan and where you saw that was feasible.
To be honest, I was thinking you'd ask me about the game. That was a crazy game, 7-8, lots of touches.
More burning
We're not
moments.
going to speak on the matter. We're not going to speak on the matter out of respect to all parties involved. Sorry to ruin your question, Rob.
No, well, my next question was
that's
going
all
to
there
be,
is to
what do you think about Oda leaving you? But I'll leave that one to the bank, maybe for an after party at some stage. But look, Sage, obviously it was a banging first matchup. We on the desk we couldn't have asked for more in terms of entertainment. Obviously,
Alter,
I think we all
interessant,
expected
ja.
this to be a much cleaner affair from GG, but it's still nonetheless the game that we needed to see from you. You fought back from a position that we thought was nearly unwinnable. How does it now feel coming toward the end of the game?
We did. I'm really glad we pulled that back. We're super proud of our mental fortitude in that game because 5-1 start to our first game with a new org is, and with a new player, of course, it's not easy to come back from. We managed to recover on the defenses, even though I think a lot of those we probably should have lost, whereas a lot of the attacks we should have won. But in the end, that's all we can do is praise our mental fortitude, work on the things that cost us the 5 attacks in the first place.
Gazza? Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. Just talking on those 5 attacks, it looked like you guys were in really good positions. Like I sort of mentioned, you guys were in 4v2s and 2v1s, and it kind of seemed like you guys didn't really have that final step down. Do you reckon that's sort of something you guys will need to continue to work on? Is it something that's sort of come with the pressure, or what was it?
It's the pressure for sure. Yeah. In New York, first game, those situations in scrims, you don't see that happening. That's all I'll say. The comms were a bit panicked and we didn't commit to one plan in most of those rounds actually. So yeah, we'll work on that. We'll make sure we're ready to play next week. Close out 41s.
Obviously on next week's Sage, new patch.
Yep.
You guys tend to be pretty far ahead of the meta. How are you guys feeling about the new build, and how have you been prioritising prep for that as comparison to the current patch?
A little bit of both. Most teams won't scrim on test server, unfortunately. The server sounds good. But we've definitely looked deep into it. The changes aren't, drastically big, but there are some things we need to look into. Of course, knock and Dokumi changes, those are pretty big. So yeah, ready for the new patch.
Look, I think that it's fair to say, obviously not the start that you would have wanted, but turning things around, that's all that matters.
Yes.
You've dug deep. That's really what you've done deep.
And to be fair, those guys, they played really well today. I'll give them that. Won a lot of clutches, big moments, so credit to them.
Yeah, maybe one too many clutches, that's for sure. Now, generally, when we're speaking to someone, they are the most important person in the room, but you unfortunately are not. Is Mandy there with you? We haven't seen Mandy for so long.
At the back somewhere.
I prepped it. I'm spewing on that. Will you make sure you give a big hello to Mandy? Do you have anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
tot? Aber kein, dort halt ein Magazin, ja, aber mein erstes Pubg! Ich gewinne mein erstes Pubg! Geil, Alter! Ich gewinne mein erstes Pubg! Geil!